Hello, my name is Melanie Wesley, and welcome to the Salon Social Podcast. On today's episode, we are joined by Raymond Torregano III of the Torregano Group. Raymond embarks on his fascinating journey and evolution, from his humble beginnings as a skilled barber to becoming the revered proprietor of a bustling salon and an influential YouTube educator. He discusses the challenges he faced, including the impact of events like 9/11, Hurricane Katrina, and the housing crisis of 2008. He emphasizes the importance of taking risks, leaving ego at the door, and staying committed to your passion. Raymond also uncovers the challenges and triumphs that have shaped his trajectory, and we delve into the profound impact of building a vibrant community. Prepare to be inspired and gain valuable insights to fuel your own growth in the ever-changing beauty landscape. I hope you find key takeaways from my conversation with Raymond, and I am forever grateful to you for lending me your ear. Until next time, be good, be true, be you.
People are getting hip to hearing more and more people talk about YouTube.
Yeah.
About a year later, with my girlfriend, wife now, and we were at Premiere. Have you ever been to Premiere Orlando?
No, I have not. I've always wanted to go, and I will go one day, but I have never been.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go, especially the path that you're on right now. You need to kind of see what's out there and what's not.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Because trends change, you know.
Or the fact that our representation is still not. It's not enough of us. It's not enough.
Okay.
It's not enough. We don't see ourselves enough. And you can look at it as, man, we're not there. Or you could be like, damn, we're not there. Like,
right.
There's a huge opportunity for what you're doing. But I'm at Premiere with my girlfriend, and there's a girl. It's about a year now I've been on YouTube. And there's a young lady who's like walking over to me, almost like I'm at a club and she walking over there smiling. And I'm looking at my girl. I'm like, man, I don't know who that is.
Like, don't get me in trouble.
At me, you know. And she walked right up in front of us. You're Rhythm Hair Studio, right?
Ooh.
And I'm like, I'm in Orlando, Florida. I live in Columbus, Georgia. Yeah. I'm Juicy 72 Chic and 7259.
You're like, okay.
That was the first time I heard the word subscribers. I'm one of your subscribers.
Yes.
Wait, you live here?
So at that point, how long had you been doing it? How long had you been?
1 year.
1 year. Okay.
But every week I was uploading something.
Yes.
Every week. So up until that point, there was probably 30 episodes up already.
Mm-hmm.
I was kicking them out. Because I realized, like, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, this is nothing. We weren't really editing back then. It was just raw
footage.
But people like Shika, who's still a part of my community today.
Nice.
She was watching it like episodes.
Yeah.
So even as you're creating what you're creating, somebody's going to watch this and hear what we're talking about right now, years from now.
Yeah, I know.
Watch this. If you still here, so you got to still be here.
That's true.
So you can tell this story, guys.
I'm living to 100. Like my husband said.
Well, you'll be here because you're gorgeous and fountain of youth. I'm talking about pouring into the beauty industry still here.
Right. Yeah.
Meaning, because it's going to get tough and it's going to get, all of my little stories a part of it, because I can't get here and talk to you if I tap out in that cold salon, eating them Hot Pockets over and over. You got to keep pushing, because what you're doing is so needed. And she was like, I watch your videos. I'm a learning leader at Jacksonville, Paul Mitchell. I'm like, you don't even live in Orlando? I'm from Jacksonville. Yeah. And I show my students your stuff because nobody's talking about hair color. I was like, so that video's still up. Me and her at the show. Like, guys, I'm just as excited to meet her because I never heard that word. I never heard nobody talk to me and say, now it's a phenomenon. Back then, we are just getting smartphones in 2010.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no Instagram.
Right.
None of that even existed.
It was just like MySpace and I mean, it was really very, very limited social media platforms. So yeah, you're right.
We weren't saying content, podcast, even podcast back then was just audio. It wasn't.
That's right.
It was very limited. So I got my taste of, I didn't understand the word yet, community. I didn't, all I knew was if she could see me, man, that changes things. And I'm pointing over here as if my wife was here. We're sitting in a car in the parking lot of the Orange County Convention Center. And she says, you should invite your YouTube subscribers to a class because you want to teach. I'm like, but people live all over the world, you know.
Right. How do you do that?
Well, it can't hurt nothing because we've invited others. And I think they're getting caught up and they knew you when you was younger versus your YouTube subscribers seem to be people that believe.
Right. Right.
Hey guys, Ray Torregano here, back at Rhythm Hair Studio TV. Guys, we're going to be having a class on November the 12th. It's going to be called Black and Blonde. We're going to be talking about high lift hair color on naturally dark hair. 3 live models, food. Is going to be 5-hour class. And guess what? You should travel.
Yeah.
You can come from anywhere. It's going to be worth your trip.
Wow.
Sold out.
Sold out. Well, how many seats did you sell out? Maybe let's just start with that.
My salon was only 1,000 square foot. So we had like 25 people.
Okay.
Was a huge, still a big class.
Oh, there sure is that is a big class. Absolutely.
Especially independent, no company, just me. Right.
And it's your first one. Like this is your first one. And so you sold out. So I know that gave you a huge confidence booster to know like I can really do this. No,
it scared the devil out of me. I was about to cuss, but I don't know if you got an explicit.
No, that's fine. It's fine.
Scared the shit out of me. Let me tell you, because I didn't. If I'm honest, it wasn't that I didn't believe. I just had not seen. All I knew from growing up in the beauty industry was work for a company, get on their platform.
Right.
This is a key. This is a major key right here. What I did not understand was that is when the game flipped. Instead of us being a platform artist, now every artist had their own platform. Right. And that's even before IG. So you'll see, and I think all of this is important. I hope it's not taking up too much time because when it came to transition away from the chair, I had all of this kind of like social proof on what was going to happen. When those people came, they were calling the salon, even though they was calling the salon, but we couldn't, there was no Square, there wasn't no Cash App yet. Melanie, right. I'm telling my age. It wasn't. We had to tell them to come bring their card at the door. And I had a debit card machine and stapling receipts. This is 2011. Right. So up until that day, we didn't have any money. We just had belief in my mind
that they were going to come. Right. Ooh.
I left home and I got to the salon about 2 hours early. The show was at, I think, 2. And I got there like 11:30 or 12. Trying to tidy up, put everything together. Yeah. There was somebody, this is Sunday. And there was somebody in the parking lot, out of her car. I mean, you talking about ignorant. I was like, man, we're closed. She said, oh no, I'm not. She's smiling. She said, oh, I'm not here to get my hair done.
For services.
Well, why are you? There's a class today, right?
She showed up before you showed up, 2 hours early.
You've been out here. I've been here about 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Wait. You live here? No, I'm from Chicago.
Chicago?
Do you have family here? By this point, she's like, is everything okay?
Like, why are you interrogating me? I'm here to hear you talk.
Is everything okay? I'm like, no, I'm one of your YouTube subscribers. You have the class. I'm Tammy. Oh. You're on the list. Yeah. I just wanted to come earlier. I wanted to see the salon. You know, we're watching the episodes and on your channel, it's like it started to click. I was like, come on in. Everything's not all together. She's like, I don't care, it's fine. 30 minutes later, somebody else came through. It was it was about 7 people there before 1. Class is at 2. I'm in the bathroom. Hey, I need you to come right now.
Yeah.
What's going on? They coming through the door. I'm by myself.
Yeah.
Get here. You sound nervous. I am scared.
Yes.
Like I am about to throw up in the bathroom.
Right.
Get here. I cannot do this by myself. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I literally toss my cookies.
Oh.
And I don't get nervous.
Mm-hmm.
But Texas, Carolina, nobody was from Columbus. One person eventually came through the door, one of my former salon owners. And it was so funny. He was like, dude, all these people for you? I'm like, I'm surprised too.
What was it that made that experience so successful for you? Your subscribers were following you for about a year, and they were obviously invested in what you were putting out, what you were teaching them. So they were really obviously very excited to see you in person. So what do you think it was that really brought those people from so far away to Columbus to come hear you speak? Do you know what it might have been?
I do. One of the parts of which is why I was excited to have this conversation with you today, is I'm beginning to talk. I'm beginning to not only train hairdressers, but I'm beginning to train educators. I'm beginning to, at 47 now, all of this is going on in 2010. So I'm probably about 30 or something like that. So what I'm doing now is trying to teach and train. One of the main things that I have to teach people is to first understand like the climate of what's out there. The amount of thirst and hunger and real need and gaping hole that it is for people to need education is enormous.
Really?
And there's so many people, in my opinion, it's tough. It's tough if you're a teacher or if you're an artist to not put your ego or your followers or your brand out in front. I tell people about social media to not look at the word followers, because followers, Melanie, if I came to Atlanta and I was with you and your husband and you guys and me and my wife was following you guys to a restaurant, we're behind you.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
You got to go left and right wherever you go. I know you've been a part of following somebody and they forget you behind them and they speeding off because they can't see.
Right.
But audience is in front.
Yeah.
And you're on the microphone and you're looking at them, you're seeing them respond. One thing that I learned very early on, and I think starting with YouTube helped me because it's an entirely different platform than I don't even call YouTube social media. It's search. It's relationship based. It's you don't even call them followers, you call them subscribers. So it taught me that people were hungry to learn.
Yeah.
So it changed how I taught. I didn't teach in a way that was trying to be showy or arrogant. So it was like, guys, I know what you're going through.
Right.
I know there's a young lady right now. She doesn't really even have a credit card. We're trying to figure out how she can get on the tribe. She can get on social media. She's in Guyana, but she can't get access to the tribe. So I'm sending her free tutorials and content. And I've heard her voice notes in my DM, like, yo, I could hear sounds like the jungle in the background. Like, I really want to learn. We don't have what you guys have. So that is something that I knew. So when people see me in person and they say, Ray, you don't understand, I'm to the point where now I'm like, yes, I do. Yeah.
Because I've been there, right?
I've been there. And every time I open my mouth, I know that I'm talking to 50 states, who knows how many countries, small salon, spouse don't believe, family wants you to get the job, trying to raise children, dyslexia, imposter syndrome, abuse as a trauma, crisis, ups, down. I know what I'm talking to. So my topics and the energy, I know that that's coming through, and especially on long form video, which I was doing. So I knew, at least now, back then it still was hard to believe the amount of people that today I know. I know, and that's why I try to teach people about, I have an online course on this very topic, and I have a whole video speaking just about the community and how important it is, because until you unlock that there's people watching these podcasts and videos, all of this is just us talking to the internet. And it can get ego driven and compare and contrast, and we can lose sight. It's not until somebody comes up to you and say, Melanie, your video made me not quit.
Yeah. And that was the driving factor behind wanting to create this platform for people, because like you said, you've experienced it, you've been through it, you understand, you're coming from a place, not, so when I first thought about doing this, I didn't like the idea of educating from like, just for visuals, standing on stage, talking to people that are sitting down below me. I kind of wanted to approach it from more of a conversational space where it's like community, because you mentioned that word community. I really love that word community, because it's like, I wanted to feel like we are doing this together. We, like, whatever I know, I can then teach you. What you know, you can teach me. And then we can kind of like grow together, like having this idea of like, I know more than you and I'm better than you, and come listen to me speak. Like, that was never comfortable for me. I really want to approach it from a just like, like a community and a conversational approach, and just having like opening space for people to feel that they can be vulnerable and that they can, just express their concerns. And because we ain't got it all figured out. I know I don't. So the difference between us is probably, we are more risk takers. Maybe we just, might be willing to get a little uncomfortable and get out our comfort zone. But like, I'm no different from the next person. I was that person when I first started my career. I did not have my license in the beginning of my journey. There were times where I didn't know if I was going to be able to pay my rent. I remember when I first moved into my suite, I had to really hustle, and I would be in there, from sun up to sundown, and I would see the cleaning lady come in every day. And I remember saying to myself, if I cannot pay this rent, I'm going to propose to them, the owners, that I will clean this building for them if I have to, just to be able to barter. You see what
That's
I mean?
Real. That's real.
So I don't ever want to come off like, I know more than you, or I'm better than you. Like, I want it to be a community of people who can really kind of help lift each other up. So that's so important what you say. And again, leaving the ego out the door, because there's no space for ego when you are coming from a place of genuine place, and like you really are trying to help folks. You know what I mean?
I know this is going to sound like it's off topic, but I think it's so in line with what you're sharing. Not the necessarily screaming at the concerts, dressed in cowboy attire, even though I probably am going to have on the cowboy outfit whenever she announced this. But I am, and everybody looks at me like I'm crazy. I am definitely by proxy in the Beehive, right? So not because I'm yelling her lyrics, it's just I view Beyonce as our Michael Jackson. I think that we are witnessing somebody who, not only music, but social media, content, branding, business, we are watching a powerhouse. And one of the things that Beyonce has fully understand, and we can all pull from, is her relationship with her fans. And so I don't want to, I hope this doesn't sound like a contradictory. I want to just stack on top of what you said. Yes, conversation. I never liked the platform elevated thing either. I would always jump, even when I did platform artistry, I would jump off the stage and walk in the audience. And laugh. But I also think that there needs to, and this is something that is tough for people to transition away from the chair, is to establish leadership. Leadership doesn't mean bully or boss, but you do need to say, hey guys, we've planted our flag over here and I'm leading this charge. I'm not going to steer you wrong, not follow me, but let me lead what I believe is a voice, because there's some loud people in our industry that are not leaders necessarily all the time, but they're loud. And some of the people that have the leadership qualities, they're they may be trying to be too conversational and don't put a little bit of leadership too. Like be firm and say, hey, this is what I'm doing. You can count on me, guys. I'm going to have these up every week, guys. I'm going to be thinking of ways to help you. And when COVID happened, and that story is so special, it's so personal to me because March 11th is when I think stuff hit the fan, and that's my birthday. So I was out at dinner, and somebody called and was like, "Yo, man, they shutting the NBA down." I was like, "What?"
Right, it's serious.
This is serious. They about to cancel the season. I was like, "Wait, man, this is real." The first thing I said when I hung up the phone, "Hey, Salon's gonna burst." We was at dinner.
Yeah.
She was like, "What?" I was like, "I'm not trying to bring that to dinner, but they are going to shut Salons down first."
Yeah.
Week later. And so I immediately, as somebody that thought in leadership mode, yo, I have to create kind of like a mass unit, like thinking retail. How do we talk? Because people were scared.
Yeah.
And hundreds of people in my community, and they wanted to know, Ray, what should we do? So there is an element of where you are and are going where it's big shoes, right?
Yeah.
Because it's this big beehive out there that you're going to be creating, and they're going to be looking at you. Like right now, everybody wants my opinion on deregulation because, Ray, you're the leader. What do you think? All right, guys, let's go do a round table. So I did a 3-hour open house or round table to say, hey, guys, this is town hall. Guys, this is what I think is going to happen. Not only in Georgia and around the country, prepare this way. So, yeah, man, it's been amazing. And honestly, to get, to tie it back into the story, once I started those classes, eventually somebody asked a question in that first educational class about hair color theory. And all of the nerves went away. I was like, you know what? I know this.
Yes.
I don't know these people, but I know this topic.
Yeah.
And it just left. And it was like, all right, let's go. And to this day, I think that was one of my best classes because I was sharp that day. And we did those about 4 times in a row. And honestly, that paid for a good part of my wedding and helped my brother. And I stopped because I got married. And I knew that I didn't want to travel. And so I poured into my salon. But, separate time to talk about what we did at Salon. We did some really great things. I built an amazing team and grew a different culture, remodeled the salon. By this point, we do have Instagram. We do have real cameras. We're creating video content. The YouTube is like a reality show darn near.
Oh, wow.
But I had got that taste of education or being away from the chair.
Yes.
And I couldn't get it out of my mind. So summer of 2015, do you know who Eric Thomas is? E.T. the hip hop preacher?
No.
Okay.
I've not heard of him.
Well, he is one of the world's greatest motivational speakers, and he had an event up there at that W around Lenox Mall. You know where that's at?
Yes, I do.
So I went up there, and nobody could come with me, Mel. My wife was busy. My brother was busy. I had a free $300 ticket. And I was so mad because I couldn't find nobody to go. About halfway up the road, I was like, oh, I'm supposed to go to this by myself.
Yes.
So I started almost getting kind of antsy on what was going to be said. And he was the last speaker. It was an entrepreneur. It wasn't a beauty event. It was just like leadership entrepreneur. He said, stop clapping. Yo, we in Atlanta, right? His help. Yeah, man, we in the A, baby. This is supposed to be the land of entrepreneurs, right? Yeah, E, that's what they say. Well, what y'all doing here for? I'm a high school dropout. Y'all supposed to have all of the answers. What you waiting on? Oh, my God.
Wow.
He was like, you waiting for them people?
Yeah.
You're going to be waiting forever.
Right. Okay.
He said, see, his partner in the back. He said, see, they must have thought I said good to great. That's what they thought, E. I didn't say good to great. He leaned in and almost like a preacher, he said, man, you're going to have to give up good to get to great.
Oh. Wow.
You could have cleared the room.
To get great.
You're going to have to give up good. You can't translate get good and take good with you or easy and transition. You're going to have to big chop good. You got to let it go.
Yes.
And I knew at that point, good was holding on to what I thought, I only thought salon, but I knew I'm supposed to be doing something else.
Yeah.
And I sat in the parking lot, Harlem Nights, called my wife, put your mom on the phone.
Right.
Man, how was the event? Man, it was good. It just shifted something in me. What's up? I'm closing rhythm. What? What do you? I know. I already been thinking about it. I'm done. I did everything I'm supposed to do. It's been 10 years. I did it. By this point, it's 2015. I'm 9 years in. I opened up in 2016. I've 30 people have worked for me. Awards, magazine, newspaper, you name it. We're the only blowout bar in town. We hadn't been doing relaxes for 5 years. We're still. It's like but I'm only 38.
Yeah.
She said, "Well, just sleep on it." All right.
Right. But it was already, that seed had already been planted. Yeah.
I was there. Plus, my staff at the time, they were growing. And not everything about them was growing in a good way. They were getting their wings. They were getting mature.
Yeah.
And they were my sisters, metaphorically, in business, but they wanted I could tell they wanted their own thing.
Yeah.
And I could have built another team, but at that point, they were the 15.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you felt this, but there was a part of me that felt like I had never made a decision for me. It was for my clients, it was for family, it was for my staff. And I was like, I think I can be an educator full time. At this point, now we got Periscope, Instagram,
more platforms.
We got real smartphones now.
Yes. There's nothing stopping you. Nothing stopping.
The only thing that I regret in a major way is now I'm married. And I didn't realize how that was going to put a strain on up until that point, every other decision I was making as a single person.
Yeah.
And now I'm 2.5 years married, and my wife is looking at me like, "You're crazy. You can't take our source of income." I was like,
yeah. And
I didn't really have a plan for real.
Yeah.
Not one that wouldn't hurt somebody else. And one of the reasons why I got so heavy, this is real talk. We talking real, right?
Yeah, we talking real.
Started eating, started drinking. Insomnia was out of control. Temper was really, really crazy because I released my team and I knew I wanted to do the next thing. But what I know now it was about 100 day of just like depression because I didn't realize what closing the salon. For a year, I stayed open after I released them. And I didn't have an exact plan. I just knew education, but I had not, and that's part of, your topic today. Well, how do you do it?
How do you do it? Yes. How do we do this?
And so I was heavy. I closed the salon at about 255 pounds. What I know now is probably having pre-diabetic symptoms. It was bad, but I was busy.
Yeah.
I was popular.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. But that sometimes doesn't necessarily translate into that balance that we need. Like you're bringing in all the money, you're popular, you're doing, you got a full staff, everybody, but that work-life balance is so off. And then it starts showing in different ways. That's not always good. Yeah.
So I got on Periscope and just went hard. And that was live video was this new phenomenon. It's like, okay, we had YouTube, and now people can talk back. Oh, wow. So I went after it. I encourage you and others. I do this in my coaching with people. Hey guys, pick a platform and just submit to it. Don't try to cheat it. Don't try to trick it. Get inside of there and go after it for 90 days. Just upload, connect with people, reach them. Don't try to figure out the hashtag, the algorithm. Get that out your mind.
Yeah.
Pick one of these platforms, pull up a chair, pack a bag, and stay there.
Yeah, and be consistent, right?
Every single think of it. You wake up, and you pour into it. I don't care if it's Pinterest, LinkedIn, if it's Periscope, rest in peace, Periscope is gone. But, so my Facebook group every day, I wake up every day. As a matter of fact, I'm about to go on a 60-day blitz inside of that Facebook group to convert even more of them to come. Now, Facebook group is free.
Okay, yeah. So you can transfer them onto, I got you. As I'm listening to you talk about that, that urge to want change and like not really knowing how to do it, but knowing that there's just something that's calling you to this, right? And then back to your comment about sometimes not knowing, like driving on a road where it's foggy and all you have are those lines to follow. Like you really can't see the full picture in front of you, but there's just this thing that just keeps on pulling you in this direction. And it's important for you to follow that voice, because that is the voice, or that is the path that's going to get you to that, whatever your idea of success is. Like, it's not where you are. It's not in what you know. Sometimes it's taking that leap and like just doing it, because we need to start listening to our inner voice. So as I'm hearing you talk, that is what brought me to this podcast, because I was at the height of my career in 2022, but I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy doing it. I had made some great relationships with clients over the years. And if some of them, they will come regardless of if you're in a wheelchair, whatever, they're going to be there. And I love those people because they're dedicated and they've committed, they're committed to you. But I was not being fulfilled. So I quit. I closed. I didn't have a whole salon. I had a suite, but I closed my suite. And my husband was like, "What now? You doing what?" I'm like, "I don't know. I can't tell you." And I can only imagine the type of pressure that you were feeling as a man. You know what I'm saying? But like, I couldn't tell what I was going to do next, but I just knew I couldn't do this anymore.
It was rough.
I know. I can imagine.
I talk people off the ledge now, because to the point where, I'm being totally honest, that was 2016 when I actually walked out of the salon. We were honestly, end of 17, we was talking to counselors, and I could have lost her. And I would have regretted it at the time. You didn't understand. You don't understand. I sometimes I just walk around the house right now and just say thank you for, not sure. I was crazy out of my mind and I didn't understand, and I wasn't like on drugs or wasn't on some type of narcotic, but the narcotic was entrepreneurship. Which
it was calling you.
I don't even know if it was calling me. It was hypnotizing me. I don't. Sometimes we use words like calling me and our calling and our passion as code word for I don't care how it affects other people. And I don't subscribe to that logic. I like to even use the word self-employed because entrepreneurship sounds sexy. Entrepreneur, especially if you get somebody that like to say it the French way.
Exactly. Right.
But say self-employed.
Yeah.
You are self-employed. There is no HR. You the HR.
Yeah.
You the vice president of marketing, finance,
all of it,
operations, execution, hiring, you everything. And
you take one hat off, put another hat on. Like, that's me. All of it me. Can I speak to the manager? Hold on. Here you go. Hi, I'm the manager.
and that type of jump off the bridge, there should have been more saved, more planned out. Luckily, my health didn't go so far left that it set me on my behind. Something like COVID would have just took me out. But I was able to get to at least the spring of 17 because what happened after I closed the salon was I tried classes all 2016 in my salon. And that's the thing that put us up against the wall, because it wasn't so much that I was closing the salon. It was that I put this new strain of her being a full-time teacher, but helping me every other weekend for a class and getting the food and bringing the people in and answering the phone. It's like, yo, we had only been, she's like, yo, I didn't sign up for this. Like, this is, you should have thought this out. I'm like, no, this is what I do.
Yeah.
At the end of that year, somebody showed me what would be kind of like an early version of like OnlyFans. It was called Connect Pal, and it had a reputation of pornographic material, lewd stuff, but the framework of it was genius.
Oh.
And I was like, so I didn't touch it for like 6 months. I just kept doing the classes, but I said, people would pay for education. People would pay like that. They paying to go see, old girl take off clothes. They would, I don't know. Let me get back to and then one day I was like, I talked to her and I was like, man, I think I could do this. There's enough people follow me at this point and believe in what I'm doing, and I can't do all the classes. I can't travel everywhere.
Yeah.
And this could be our way out.
Yeah.
Or this could be our way in.
Yeah.
So September of 2016, I launched on Periscope. Hey guys, I'm launching an online education for hairdressers.
Wow.
I don't know how it's going to go because nobody's doing it. So
right.
It's going to be affordable. I'm thinking of it like you would set up your Netflix. I used to call it the Netflix of hairstylists. I don't use that term anymore, mainly because it's not entertainment, but that was the thinking.
Yeah. Subscription.
And this is 2016, so this is before OnlyFans.
Yeah, you're an innovator, man. You like setting.
I accept those words now. I don't know what I would. Here's that voice that you talked about just a couple minutes ago. You know what that voice is? Ultimately, Melanie, the people. If we talk to the people, that's why I'm encouraging you to go collide with people. Yeah. Get in DMs, talk to people. Notice even when I responded back to you, I sent voice notes. I want people to feel me. I want to feel them. Yes, I can do it. If I'm available, right? Because when you meet the people and you hear what they're going through, you believe that it's got to be 100. It's got to be 500 of them. It's got to be 1,000 of them. It's got to be.
They're out there.
Some people are looking at their Instagram number. I'm like, man, go look at the faces. Go look at Brianna that's in Henderson, Nevada. Go look at Lala that's in LA, and she was a former model, but now she's 50, but she's in the beauty industry. Go look at Bree that's in Portland, but she's a tatted up Black girl and she doesn't really fit and she moved to Houston, or Mimi, or go. These are real people that I've met, and honestly, some of them feel like family over time because they said, look, man, we gonna follow you. We believe in what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And if you say this online education thing is gonna jump, we down with it. And at that point, I remember when the first person signed up, you would have thought I hit the lottery. I was so excited for them $14.
I know that's right.
I called her.
Because that was a milestone. That was a milestone for you.
It was major. I said, called her. Because I know her. She had come to one of my physical classes. I was like, Mary, you doing? Yeah, I subscribed. Okay. How you like it? It's pretty good. Did you look at everything? Well, Red, it's just 3 things.
You were excited. I would be too.
You can see it. You look at it on your phone. I look at it on my phone. So on my iPad, on my computer, it's pretty cool. So how often you going to upload? Man, I'm working on something now. Just stay on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so I told my folks, I told close people to me when we first hit like our first $100. Right. And it was like, dog, you calling me for $100? Like, y'all don't get it.
I don't get
it. That was the beginning of a revolution. And now I'm literally going to a convention in October, fingers crossed, out in LA. That's about this whole subscription economy. Like, it's a world.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's
a whole
great.
World of people that are what they call knowledge commerce, and you're leaning into that, where you're taking what shoulders up, and monetizing that versus us just could not do it like you were in 2022, shoulders down anymore. It's like, I just can't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Got to figure out a way to get paid for up here.
Absolutely.
So I remember very vividly, this is where the documentary music may change and get a little romantic, when we had made enough. I'm just keeping it really real as a person, as a man, in particular as somebody Black in this world who, there's limitations even in 2024, but the internet don't really care, man. If you can partner up with the internet, it allows you to see the world and the world to see you. And I remember the first month when it was like, babe, we could pay all the bills. Like what's coming in this month is going to cover the bills. And
There's a little something extra. Yes. That's
it was nice, but it
that
was
is success. What a story.
Go to Target, go get a big Starbucks. And
get you a venti.
Yeah, get you a venti. Get you a venti. And it allowed then for me to start to understand, like, okay, this is the next chapter. I'm there now. I don't have to travel as much. It's not as stressful. I done made it over this tough. So now we're in 2018, 17. 19, I added in speaking engagements, travel. And there was a level of, I started to take social media like very, very serious. Like anytime people start bad mouthing social media, I used to try to defend it. I just walk away now because I know they don't understand. They don't
the benefits.
They don't know what's happening on YouTube or why this TikTok ban is so sad, because it's like, man, this is people's freedom that they're going after. Because what we're able to do now, what you're able to do now with this social podcast and what I'm able to do is revolutionary. Now, people that are literally in cosmetology school don't have to even go to the chair. This is new. It used to be, well, you got to pay your do's and the don'ts. No, you could be 20 years old and there's a list of things you can do. You could be a real estate and have suites. You could be a salon manager. You could have classes or a workshop in person, online. You could have a mastermind Zoom like you're having right now with 500 people that pay $50 a month, and you meet once a month or once a week. That now is your income. What we were making in the chair with our hands doing day to day can happen in a litany of different ways now because we have social connectivity to every state, every city.
Definitely.
And
we have this powerful tool in our hand, which is our phone. So, there are no excuses. I know we can talk, we can go on, and we may have to have a part 2 of this conversation because this is such a rich conversation. You have such a diverse background and you have done so much in your career that, like you can just continue to pour into people. And there's just, they can take so much from you because you're just, you, like I said, it's such a rich history that you have. But I know I promised to only take an hour of your time. And unfortunately we are there, but I would love it. I would love it because I know you have, we didn't get to the present day, which is, you kind of touched a little bit on what you're doing now, but I want to get more into all of the platforms that you offer for your clients and all of the things that you're doing, how you're helping people. So on air, I'm asking you, would you please come back for a part 2 for this?
I just know that when we start talking about transition away from the chair, it's scary. And it's like showing all of the twists and turns and how, to the point that I almost feel like I'm obligated. Like nobody's had this path. Nobody jumped on YouTube in 2009 and was getting hate emails because we weren't supposed to be on. So it's to the point where now it's kind of like, and I don't get a chance to say that, so I can feel myself probably talking too much. But in relation to what I'm doing now, those things had to happen, or there's no way. There's no way I'm talking to you or classes, courses, none of that stuff. I am still just a hairdresser, seeming, but now I have to turn into something different because of that. So let's jump right back on. Cool, thanks. I'll be ready.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Salon Social Podcast. I hope you enjoyed the conversation and that you can join us again next week as we continue to dig into the business of salon business. You can find these episodes and more streaming on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, as well as social media platforms like Instagram and TikTok. Follow us at Salon Experience Consultant and Salon Social Podcast. Like, share, and subscribe to stay in the know.